In this video, we are going to learn about control statements. This will be the theory part of control statements. Once we learn about theory, then one by one about each topic we are going to see in practical. So in JavaScript or in any other programming language, control statements are nothing but they will control the flow of the execution. And also, if we give any condition to that statement or to that particular line of code, control statements will be controlling that. Now I'll show you one example. Here is my code. My code will be starting here. And inside my code, I have written some statements. Like I have just written the code which I want to execute. After that, my code is ending. Now what happens? First, my code statement 1 will be executed. Then code statement 2 will be executed, then 3 will be executed, then 4, then 5, then finally 6. One by one, our code will execute in JavaScript. Now in future, what I want is my fourth statement, I just want to run it 50 times. So for that, I can't repeat the fourth statement 50 times. Or suppose maybe I want to paste it 100 times, 1000 times. I want to repeat so many times. So for that, I can't keep on pasting that. My code will become lengthy and also it will be taking so much of space. And in real world scenarios, we will not be copy pasting our entire code. So what we will be doing? We will be using control statements here. Okay, this is my first requirement. And my second requirement is for this code statement too, I just want to check some of the condition. I want to check if the number is 0. I want to check if the number is positive or negative. I want to check the year which is mentioned in the code line 2, it is leap year or not. I want to check so many conditions that can also be done using control statements. Using control statements, we can use loops and we can repeat the code. Basically, it will loop our statement multiple times and we will be getting the result. And second thing is, we can check for some conditions and based on that result, we can display the data. So that is what here I have mentioned. Control statements are the statements that change the flow of the execution of statements. Whatever flow we are having, we have seen one by one it was executing. Now fourth statement 4, I just want to execute it 50 times. So it has controlled the execution of our statements. First it will execute 1, 2, 3. Then fourth statement will be repeating 50 times using control statements. Then fifth statement and then finally sixth statement will be displayed. So that is the reason it will control the execution flow. And in JavaScript, control statements are also called as control structure or flow control statements, which will decide the execution flow of the program. Okay, this is what our example tells. It just controls the execution of our code. Now here we have control statement. Inside that control statements, we have conditional statements, we have iteration statements, and we have jump statements. Inside condition is nothing but we will check for the condition. If that condition is true or false. If the condition is true, the statement true will be executed. If the condition is false, the statement false will be executed. So for that we call as conditional statements. Inside that we have if else, we have simple if as well. We have nested if, basically it is also called as else if ladder, and also we have switch case statements. Okay, this is about conditional, which is just going to check for the condition. We have iteration statement. As I told, I want to repeat line 4 50 times. So for that, we have these loops, iteration statements. We have for loop, we have do while loop, and we have while loop. Using this, we can repeat our code multiple times. And finally, we have jump statement. Inside that, we have two things. It is not going to check for any condition, and also it is not going to iterate anything. It is just a statement which we are going to see one by one. After this also many control statements were added, like we have for each and we have for of. That all we are going to study in advanced JavaScript. But these are the control statements which we are going to learn. We have conditional statement, iteration statement and jump statements. Condition is going to check for the condition. Iteration is going to repeat our code multiple times, and using this jump statement we can stop the code or we can continue our code. Once we do practically, you will understand about these statements. Okay, that's all for this section. Next session we are going to start with conditional statements.